How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the PilotPatriot channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to store up your own emergency long-term food and a whole lot of it for a low price. All right, guys. Now, with food shortages, supply chain issues, and food prices rising, a lot of people are starting to realize the importance of having some emergency food stored up at their home. Now, there are a lot of companies out there like My Patriot Supply that sell pre-packaged freeze-dry food that's easy and convenient, shipped to your door, already packaged for you. But if we're looking to store up the maximum amount of food at the lowest cost possible, there's another way, and that's what I'm going to show you here today. We're talking about buying your own staple food items like rice and beans in bulk and storing it for long-term use in Mylar bags and 5-gallon buckets. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, but first, guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Now, there are a lot of foods that, when stored in this manner in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and inside 5-gallon buckets, can last you 25 or even 30 years. The great thing about that is that you can package this up, put it in the back of a closet, set it and forget it for that day that you actually need it. So some of the foods we're going to be packaging up today are pinto beans, some instant mashed potatoes, we have 50 pounds of long grain rice, 50 pounds of sugar, and some instant coffee. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't like instant coffee, but it stores a long time and it's really easy to use in an emergency. You don't need a coffee maker or grinder or anything like that. So that's what we're going with. Now, there's just a few things you're gonna need for this process. One is 5-gallon buckets. And if you have the option, I recommend food grade 5-gallon buckets. And then you're gonna need a lid with a seal on it. Next, you're gonna need Mylar bags. You can get these in any size. They have 5-gallon bucket sizes, they have 1 gallon, they have quart sizes. And I will link to all this stuff in the description below if you wanna get it for yourself. The next thing you're gonna need is oxygen absorbers like these ones that I got from Wallaby. And what I like about these is that each of the oxygen absorbers is pre-packaged in its own package. So I don't have to open up a whole pack of oxygen absorbers and risk an entire bag of them going bad just to use one. So I really like this. And again, I'll link to those in the description below. The next thing you're going to need is some way to seal these Mylar bags when you're done. Now, you can just use a regular iron like you iron your clothes with, but what I found is the best way is just a hair straightener. They're small, compact, and really easy to use on the tops of these Mylar bags. Now, let's get in here a little closer. We'll go through the process, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. All right, guys, so we got our 5-gallon bucket here, and we're going to take our 5-gallon Mylar bag and just drop it down into the inside. The first one we're going to be doing is our pinto beans. So we're just going to start pouring our beans in. All right, guys, I was able to fit about 32 pounds of dried pinto beans in here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this around and find our seams and go ahead and start to flatten this out. And then we'll take our hair straightener, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start at about 3/4 of the way, and we're going to begin to seal that bag. I like to go over it a couple times just to make sure it has sealed. And you'll see that we left a little bit open here at the end, and that's so we can drop our oxygen absorber in, and then we're going to press down and push all of the air out that we can before sealing this up, and then the oxygen absorber will do the rest of the work for us, sealing out and taking all the oxygen out of the bag. All right, so this is a 2000 cc oxygen absorber that should be good for a 5-gallon bucket. So we're just going to open that up and then quickly drop it down into our bucket. And then again, like I said, we're just going to press as much of that air out as we can, and then go ahead and seal up the last bit of the bag. And that's really all there is to it, guys. Now you can tell there's just still a little bit of air left in there, but you come back in a couple hours or in about a day, you'll see that this bag has really sucked down, and that oxygen absorber will take out any of the remaining oxygen that's in the bag. That's why it's important that you use the correct size oxygen absorber for the container that you're using. Only thing left to do is go ahead and fold this down. And then we're going to put our lid on there. Remember, you're going to want to make sure you get a lid that has a seal on it. That's just going to help, again, keep from any oxygen getting in and bugs and things like that. And that's really all there is to it, guys. The only thing I'm going to do next is I'll go back and I'll label this with what's in the bucket and what day it was packaged, so I know about how much time I can expect this to last. Again, dried foods packaged this way, especially things like beans, rice, they're going to last you 25 to 30 years packaged this way, probably even longer than that as long as you store it properly, meaning you're going to store it in a cool, dry, dark area like a closet or something like that. You should be good to go. All right, guys, now with my rice, I'm gonna do this a little bit different. I happen to have these 1 gallon Mylar bags, have several of these. I'm just gonna show you another way to do this. If you wanna package these in smaller quantities, you can still pack them away in the 5 gallon bucket to protect it, but you can package it in smaller bags so that you don't have to open a huge 5 gallon bucket of rice just to get out enough to eat for the night. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these gallon bags and I'm just going to fill those up individually. All right, guys, now that I've got that filled up about how I want it, I'll make sure I leave room so that I have plenty of room to seal the bag. We're going to follow the same process that we did before and seal this about 3/4 of the way. Leaving room here to drop our oxygen absorber in just a minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill up a few like this before I drop the oxygen absorbers in, and then we'll package it up. All right, now I'm going to open up my smaller oxygen absorbers for these 1 gallon bags and go ahead and start dropping them in and sealing these bags up. All right, there we go, guys. We got our 1 gallon rice bags packed up in our 5 gallon bucket. Everything's sealed up, waiting for those oxygen absorbers to do their thing, and we can go ahead and put the lid on. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. So if you're looking for a quick and easy way to store up a whole lot of food at a lowest cost possible, this is definitely the way to go, especially your staple items like rice, beans, noodles, all that kind of stuff. This is a great way to do it. It's going to preserve it for 25 to 30 years. The bucket is going to help keep the elements and bugs and rodents and things like that from getting to your food. This is really a great way to do it. Like I said, you just set it and forget it, and it's good for that day that the emergency happens and you need the food. You got that food stored up. This is really going to get you the most bang for your buck. Just this one 50-pound bag of rice has 500 servings of rice in it. 500 servings. That is a lot of food for you and your family in an emergency situation. And this bag right here only costs about 30-some bucks. So you really can't beat that. Now I'm gonna get back over here and I'm gonna finish packaging up all the rest of this stuff for storage. If you have any questions, guys, make sure you leave that down in the description below. And don't forget, I will have links to everything in the description below so you can get it for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay prepared.